Hello, YouTube. Here's a kind of a quick introductory uh, rundown on the Sikk pad. I've had it 18 months. Excuse me. And they've just recently got a new stock in, so they've sold, I don't know, maybe 50, 75, I don't know how many. But for those of you that aren't familiar with it, I've got three major tips to keep in mind when you get your Sikk bed. And the first one is you must run wet clutch motorcycle oil. They recommend 10 weight 40. And try not to run semi-synthetic or synthetic at first when you're breaking it in. Run just straight 4-stroke 10 weight 40 motor oil designed for one of these wet clutch engines. It says it right there. Formulated with superior wet clutch protection for maximum power transfer and smooth riding. Yeah, break it in with this straight wet clutch oil. And once you've got some miles on it, it's broken in. Then you can switch to a synthetic or a semi-synthetic. I broke it in with this stuff for about the first 300 to 500 miles, right around there. And then I switched to this Lucas motorcycle oil. Now this is semi-synthetic, but it is made for wet clutches. But anyway, that's the number one tip. Do not use car oil. Car oil will have that energy conservation sticker on there. It has friction modifiers. You put it in this, your clutch will slip from the start. You'll burn your clutch up. It'll be useless. So don't do it. When you get the Sikk bed, it doesn't come with any instructions, engine manual, specifications, nothing. And number two tip is pull your rear wheel lock and those 6 bolts on that hub sprocket. Pull those bolts out. Clean off that stock dry thread locker type stuff they put on there because it doesn't work. And use your good liquid blue thread locker and retorque them on there. And let it sit 24 hours. Because they can come loose. Mine came loose after about 500 miles. And one came out and it just started to rub, but I caught it. Didn't do any damage. So I took the wheel off. Sure enough, the other 5 were hand tight, ready to come out. Now, if they come out, you're going to have a catastrophic failure. And you can get a new wheel from Sikk Ped for $150, less the rotor and I think less the sprocket. It might come with the sprocket. Anyway, make sure you do that. And the other thing is when these bikes, when you get them, they come with a neutral and an in gear. This is your lever. Forward is neutral. Back is in gear. Now, there's no safety start switch on this. So if you leave it in gear and you fire this thing up and you give it any throttle, it's going to take off. So get in the habit in your starting and stop procedure to take it out of gear, put it back into neutral. Those are the three things that are like a must to do. Now I've got this one upgraded with a nice gold 420 the racing chain. The stock chain is good quality. I ran it forever, and it hardly stretched at all. I only needed to adjust it once, I think, for stretch. But here, let me give you a quick rundown on my start procedure. Now, I've got it all automatic. Normally, you're going to have your petcock in the off position. Right there's off. See it? So the first thing you do is turn your gas on. Now, when it's cold, you're going to want to choke it. Here's your manual choke. Up for choke, down for off. And go ahead and hit your handlebar on-off switch. And come over here. Turn your ignition on. And hit your button. There it is. Starts right up. And when it's cold, you're going to have to choke it, but it's no big deal. But now, if that was in gear, and you rev it up, it's going to take off. And if you're not sitting on it, you're going to have a problem. So you've got to make sure you take that turkey out of gear. Now here's the little sticker that it comes with. And it pretty much says, check lubricant before start. And then it says, replace lubricant and clean once every 300 kilometers during tryout. What do they mean by tryout? Is break-in, I think. So 300 kilometers is 186 miles. And I think I changed the oil on this right at 200 miles. And then I changed it again at another 200 miles. And the oil that came out of this thing was crystal clear. It was not black. It was not burnt. It had no debris in it. Anyway, and then also too it says under 50 kilometers per hour during tryout, which is 30 mile an hour. So they don't want you to exceed 30 during your break-in. And when you're breaking it in, just try to run it at different RPMs, you know, like 15, 20, 25, 30 for a while, back down to 20, 15. Just don't keep it at 1 RPM steady for like an hour straight. Don't do that. Give it different RPMs. And other than that, this is a fantastic bike. Smooth riding, fun, nice hydraulic brakes. You'll really enjoy it. But those tips are my best 3 tips. Here, I'll show you what it sounds like when you put it into gear. Here's your gear lever. You should keep your idle down. Don't have your idle up high because you don't want those gears clashing in there. But here we go. Pops it right in. See that? Oh, another thing, when it comes new, I don't think it comes with a fuel filter. I'd advise putting a fuel filter in it. That's about it. Now, on my fuel, I only keep it to the lower part of this neck. Now, you can fill it on up higher. I don't advise filling it up in this filler neck too high. You don't want it sloshing out. But that's up to you. And I also run ethanol-free fuel. Never had an issue one with this bike in a year and a half. Starts right up every time. Piece of cake. Okay, that's about it. I will talk to you later.